As parents, there's nothing more precious to us than our children. We want to protect them from harm, and if there's anything we can do to keep them safe, we do it. We know that there's danger all around, even in the home. But if we take the right precautions, we're confident we can keep them reasonably safe. Outside, it's a different world. One of the greatest risks our children face is traffic. More children aged 5 and over are killed or injured on the roads than through any other accidental cause. That it could happen to our child doesn't bear thinking about. But we need to think about it and do what we can to make sure that our child doesn't get hurt. Let's face it, all roads are dangerous for young children. Even at a pedestrian crossing, a child would not be safe from a driver who jumped a red light. That's why throughout this DVD, you won't hear children being told to find a safe place to cross. It's people, not places, that are safe. We can't be with them 24 hours a day. We've got to get them to understand that they can take responsibility for themselves. But how? By telling them to do as we do? As parents, we're role models for our children, the best teachers they could ever have. But we need to make sure we set them a good example. And in a world of ever-increasing traffic, we must help them learn how to stay safe on the roads. In this DVD, we'll show you how to do that, using the methods that road safety trainers use. You'll see how simple it is for you to improve your child's understanding of road safety and pass on the skills they need if they're to avoid this. We may think we're helping our children when we tell them to take care and mind the road, but is it really helping them? It's just words, and as we all know, words can go in one ear and out the other. We need to actually do something to help them stay safe. Train them, and do it in a way that they'll understand. Children don't think the way we do. They see the world through different eyes. Ask an adult who's to blame if a child runs into the road and gets knocked down, and they'd probably say the child was at fault. Ask a child who was to blame, and you'd get a different answer.
The car's fault. The car's fault. The car's fault.
Children need to understand that the blame can't always be pinned on the traffic. They have to recognise that they must take responsibility for their own safety, and we as parents must recognise that too. It's their actions that will lead to them getting hurt or staying safe. Sometimes there are people there to help your child cross the road, but they won't always be there. So it's important that they learn to keep themselves safe.
If I was to get hit by a car, whose fault would it be? Would it be my fault or the car's fault?
The car.
The car's fault? Why would it be the car's fault?
Because it was going too fast.
Because it was going too fast.
And it wasn't looking which way.
Right, okay. Well, what is it the cars drive on?
The
The road. And what do we walk on?
people.
So, if I go into a road, what have I got to make sure isn't there?
Cars.
A car. And so if I go into a road and a car hits me, what haven't I done?
You haven't looked up and down.
I haven't looked. So if I go into a road and I haven't looked, whose fault would it be?
Yours.
It'd be my fault, wouldn't it? That's right.
A 5-year-old who has had training can have as much road sense as an untrained 9-year-old. So, how do we give them that road sense? How do we get them to understand that staying safe around traffic is largely down to them?
So what we need to do is we need to stop, and then we need to look everywhere, and then before we cross over, we need to make sure there's no cars coming, then we cross over. Is that what we need to do? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Okay, so should we have a go at doing that ourselves? All right then. So we need to stop here.
When we tell children things, we can't be sure we're getting through to them. What we need to do is have a proper conversation with them. We need to ask questions that will get our children thinking. Like this.
If I want to cross over this road, what have I got to do to keep safe?
You look up and down.
Look up and down. Anything else?
Stop looking
Stop, look and listen. Why do I have to be careful when I'm by a road?
Because you'll get run over.
I get run over. Now, if I got run over, what would happen to me, do you think? What could happen to me if I got run over?
You'd have to go to hospital.
I have to go to hospital. And what's the very worst thing that could happen to me?
You could die.
I could die. Really die, or just pretend?
Really
Really? And how do you think my mummy and daddy would feel if that happened to me?
sad.
I think they'd be really sad, wouldn't they?